Good morning, everyone. Welcome to class today. How are you doing? I hope you're fine. All right. Welcome to class, okay? Last week, we talked about drugs. Can you remember? Yes, we talked about drugs. We define what drugs are and we mention some examples, okay? Can someone mention 2 examples of drugs for me? Yes, say it. Paracetamol. And which one again? Cough syrup. Beautiful. All right. Today, we're going to talk about uses of drugs, okay? All right. But before we continue, let's look at today's date. Today's date is Wednesday, July 8th, 2020. And our topic today is uses of drugs. Is what? Uses of drugs. All right. Can someone tell me what we can use drugs to do? What are the uses of drugs? Or do we just start taking drugs? No, we cannot just start taking drugs, okay? So, why do we take drugs? What are the uses of drugs? All right, now let's look at the uses of drugs. Number 1, drugs can be used to cure illness. Okay, now let's take for example, when someone is having malaria, what will the person do? The person will buy a malaria drug in order to cure him or herself. Okay, all right. Number 2, drugs can also be used to prevent illness. Okay, remember another name for illness is sickness. Drugs can be used to prevent illness. Okay, let's take for example, when someone is having headache, what will the person do? The person will buy paracetamol in order to prevent the headache. Do you get that? All right. The third one, drugs can also be used to relieve pains. Drugs can also be used to relieve pains, okay? We use drugs to relieve pains. Let's also take for example, when someone is having sore throat, okay? What will the person do? The person will buy Strepsil in order to relieve the pain. Do you know what is sore throat? Sore throat is when someone's throat is paining the person severely, okay? The person will buy Strepsil in order to relieve the pains, okay? All right. There might be other uses of drugs, but we're going to just consider these 3, okay? You can find out other uses of drugs on your own, okay? All right. Thank you. Now, let's do class activity, okay? Activity 1. I want you to look at these 2 pictures and point at the one that shows uses of drugs, okay? Is it picture A, drugs can be used to prevent or cure illness, or is it picture B, drugs can be used to cause illness? Do we use drugs to prevent or cure illness, or do we use it to cause illness? The answer is A. Drugs can be used to prevent or cure illness. Drugs cannot be used to cause illness. Good job. All right. The last question. Look at these 2 pictures again. I want you to point at the one that shows the right attitude towards drugs. When a child is not feeling fine, what does she or he supposed to do? Does he or she supposed to accept drugs or to reject drugs? The answer is A. He or she supposed to accept the drugs. Okay, when someone is not feeling fine and the mommy is giving the person drugs, what the person supposed to do? What? Accept it in order to get well. The person does not supposed to reject the drugs but to accept it. Okay, so whenever your mom is giving you drugs, open your mouth and accept it. Okay, all right, thank you so much. This is where we're going to stop for today. Thank you. It's nice having you. Bye bye.